we have a microphone for Connor, please? There you go. Now, to kick us off, could you give us an overview of AWS's philosophy and beliefs when it comes to upskilling for cloud skills?
For sure, yeah. Thanks very much. What our philosophy around cloud skills, I think it's linked to our philosophy around what AWS is overall. So I think AWS, when we formed back in 2006, cloud computing as an industry didn't exist. So AWS were the pioneers of cloud computing back in 2006. And one of the big things that we wanted to do when we thought about this business was to democratize access to technology. And so the idea there was that whether you were a developer in the world's largest enterprise or government institution, or in a dorm room, a proverbial dorm room, you had access to the same computing skills and you could compete on a level playing field. And so, or same computing power. And so that's why AWS started. And I think we've made a huge progress in terms of obviously the business and the technology offerings we have. And now if you're a developer and you want to disrupt an established enterprise, you can do so with access to over 200 AWS services, from machine learning to AI to IoT to data to database and so on, and all fully secured from the AWS cloud. But to continue to drive the democratizing force of cloud, education is the next barrier. And so our big focus area is to build a business that outlasts all of us. If we're to build a business that outlasts all of us, the primary lever for doing that is education. And so we think about education through a couple of different lenses. We think about educating the builders of today, so our current customers. And so we have various different programs focused on educating customers like Globe Telecom, for example, who are using our AWS Skills Guild program. And we do what's called a learning needs analysis with our customers, and we work out how we can embed cloud skills in their organization so they become cloud fluent. So this idea of building cloud fluency. But we also think about enabling the builders of tomorrow, and how we can think about all of the various talent pools out there that could support bridging this digital skills divide that exists not just in the Philippines but across ASEAN and across the globe. And then when we think about that, we think about how do we engage untapped or under-tapped talent pools. And so some of those are in second level institutions. So we have a program in Indonesia called Laptops for Builders, where we give second level students across Indonesia laptops because they don't have access to hardware to access our programs. So that's been super successful. We embed our curriculum in second and third level programs. So whether they're degree or diploma programs through our AWS Academy program and so on. And so we have various different examples like that. And then this particular Restart program then is obviously linked to that as well, where we think about what are the areas of the workforce today that are going through some change and turbulence, and how do we maybe give people an opportunity to embrace this digital economy, and people who maybe worked in different industries and then been able to work in the cloud computing industry, which is basically where AWS Restart emerged from.
Can you talk a little bit more about Restart program itself?
So look, I think when we think about, again, looking at how do we take people who have worked in other industries, we'll hear from our two graduates here in a minute, but who have an interest in technology, have no prior skills, and then how do we get them in to have a basic level of cloud practitioner capability. And so we built this program, which started as an experiment in the UK, I think a couple of years ago, is now available in over 60 countries around the world. And what we do is we fully fund a program for 12 weeks. So you need to have basic numeracy, literacy skills, an interest in cloud, and an ability to commit to 12 weeks of this program full time. And if you do that, we'll take you through a combination of online labs, classroom training, then various interactive sessions. We don't just want to teach people on AWS skills, we also want to give them lessons that they can employ in the jobs they go into, so collaboration skills and so on. We also work with you putting your CV together, interview coaching skills, So try to make it a holistic program for the candidate so that they come out the other side of the 12 weeks and are not just able to pass an AWS practitioner exam, which is one of the success measures of the program, but they're also skilled in a way where they can actually contribute to employers. So that's it from the applicants' side, and we do a lot of work in terms of trying to build pathways for those, but also then to do this program we also need to have partners. And so there's kind of two kind of primary, I guess, buckets of partners. One is how we deliver the training, and that's where Edukasyon.ph come in and various programs around the globe, and working very closely with people who understand how and already have reach into the countries in which we want to deploy this program. That's very important to us. And then the next part of it is when these people come out the other side, these graduates, do we have employers either from AWS partners who are working with our customers to transform their business on cloud, or from end customers themselves. And so we're very lucky in the Philippines to have a broad cross-section of partners who will then take these employees into their workforce and hopefully create long-standing sustainable careers for those individuals.
Thank you, Connor. I think one note there is the holistic approach that you have when it comes to filling in that skills gap. I think it's very important, that holistic approach to it. Now, that skills gap, talking about that, filling that in will definitely be beneficial for many Filipinos who have aspirations in building careers in the cloud. But moving forward, Ms. Grace, can you talk a little bit more about the Restart program and your collaboration with AWS?
Yes. Before sharing more details of the program itself, I think what's nice to also highlight is the kind of audience that the program is catering to. Having an understanding of our Philippine landscape, we all have noticed that if we Filipinos would want to have access to good training, good job opportunities, the usual behavior of us Filipinos is migrating to the Tier 1 cities. So it's the like of Metro Manila here in Luzon. For Visayas and Mindanao, we all know it's Cebu and Davao. This kind of program is not anymore limiting the audience just for the residents of those Tier 1 cities. Automatically, the opportunity is getting opened up to a bigger, larger population. So that's the first thing that we would like to highlight in this program, because it opens up the gate that best training, best job opportunity, not anymore limited to just Tier 1 cities. So that's the first one. Next to just the location is that it's now also opening that opportunities are not predefined because of your college diploma. And for most of us, we entered our career workforce just actually holding on to our college diploma to be the first ticket to have access to such opportunity. So what I'm really happy with this program is that AWS Restart is opening the gates not with restrictions, but really with opportunity. So regardless of your location, regardless of what's that educational background that you bring in, it's not a limitation. It's not the definition if you could join in the program, but actually the restrictions have been limited this time. So more Filipinos could really be having access to the program. So it's not just for a few, but it's for the many. And the many means including the underserved or the not so usual segments of audiences that is getting catered by certain programs. So that's the first thing we would like to highlight in this particular program, and that's why Edukasyon was really happy to be part of it, because there are more Filipino learners who could be part of this program. Now the program itself, it's around 9 to 12 weeks, depending on the background of the individual. It's a total of 12 weeks program, but if you have some basic tech knowledge already, it could be short as 9 weeks. In this program, yes, it's going to be training our learners on basic cloud skills, but it is also holistic, just like what Connor has mentioned earlier. We are providing them also with the training they need so that they could be effective during their job hunting or during their interview. So it's not limited to just upskilling them or introducing cloud technology to them, but also making sure that they are ready to be in front of the new employers, how to handle interview, how to be preparing their resume so that they could be highlighting their skills, their potential, and their commitment towards the new employer. So that is AWS Restart. that Edukasyon is proudly partnering with.
Thank you very much, Ms. Graces.